When I told my Year 4 class that Roz from the book, The Wild Robot, lives on a remote island, they thought I was talking about an island made of remote controls. And why wouldn't they? My students had only heard that word, remote, being used as a noun. It's the thing you point at the TV, they said. Learning remote is also an adjective, meaning far away from civilization, was exciting news, and suddenly, the wild robot's home in the middle of the ocean made a lot more sense. So, inspired by this brilliant book by Peter Brown, this episode of Writecraft Kids will teach you more about words which can be both nouns and adjectives, sometimes with very different meanings. At the end, you'll have a chance to get creative and write your own silly or serious sentences to put your new knowledge to use. But first, a reminder of what nouns and adjectives are. Nouns are words used to refer to things, people, animals, places, or concepts, which are ideas in our world that we can't hold in our hands. Here are some examples of nouns. A book, a pen, and a robot are all things. Peter Brown, Taylor Swift, and Mr. Beast are people. Because they are names of people, they start with capital letters. These are called proper nouns. Nouns like auntie, footballer, child, and gymnast refer to people too, but as these aren't their names, we don't use capital letters for them. England, Tokyo, and Disney World are all places. They are names of specific locations or proper nouns that start with capital letters. Words like library, forest, classroom, and toy shop refer to places too, but they're common nouns for general places rather than specific locations. We only give them a capital letter if they are at the beginning of a sentence. Donkeys, flamingos, and meerkats, all animals. Softness, love, childhood, bravery. These are examples of concepts that we can't physically hold. We call these abstract nouns. Pause here and write down one of your own ideas for each category of noun. Adjectives exist to tell us more about what the nouns are like. They are describing words that totally change the picture a reader paints in their mind. An adjective tells us what kind of book, pen, or robot we're reading about. For example, is it a long book? Is it heavy, mysterious, thrilling, chilling, or funny? What sort of pen am I writing about? Could it be magical, expensive, or invisible? What is this robot like? Is it evil, dangerous, powerful, or might it be gentle, kind, and forgiving? I could write a sentence about a gosling, simply saying, the gosling was looking for food. But if I add in 3 adjectives and change it to, the sad, lonely, lost gosling was looking for food, suddenly my sentence becomes a heartbreaking little story. Stop here and add 1 or 2 interesting adjectives before each of the nouns you wrote down earlier to tell your reader more about them. If you're enjoying this episode so far, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next video. As I said before, there are some words like remote that can be used as a noun or as an adjective, depending on where they are in the sentence. In this video, nouns are coloured red and adjectives are blue to help you identify them. If I asked you to pass me the remote, I'm using the word as a noun, meaning, give me the channel changer. But if I told you I was on holiday in a remote cottage in the countryside, I'd be telling you there was nothing but grass, trees, and fields for miles all around me. Bliss. 2 more words like this are cold and crystal. As a noun, a cold is an illness we catch, you know, the one that leaves you with a red nose after blowing it 1,000,000 times. I stayed in bed watching TikTok videos all day because I had a cold, is how you might use it in a sentence. But in the role of an adjective, cold tells us about the temperature of something, like this. Biting into the cold ice lolly gave Joshua brain freeze. Or this. Selena the baby seal slid along the cold snow. I'll try to make this next one crystal clear for you. Used as a noun, crystal means a solid formation that follows a pattern, like salt, snowflakes, or moonstone. Researching this, I found out the lead in pencils is also a crystal. In a sentence, you could write, the light in her eyes sparkled like a crystal. As an adjective, crystal tells us that something is super clear. For example, the mermaid's emerald scales glistened beneath crystal waters. I've had a lot of fun thinking about which other words can be used as either nouns or adjectives, and I've put them together in a little list for you. Pause here and see which ones you can think of, and then compare your list with mine. All colours. Red is the colour of love, the big red car. Silver, the man's silver hair. Silver is the perfect material to make jewellery from. Special. Today's special is pineapple pizza. I wore my special outfit to the prom. All right, we're finally at my favourite part of this episode. Rosam Unit 7134 has really stolen my heart with her beautiful story. So inspired by the book and the upcoming release of the movie adaptation, I've been playing with some of our nouns that can also be adjectives to write a few wild robot themed sentences of my own. And I promise there are no spoilers. After I've read them out, pause and see if you can correctly spot which words should be red nouns and which ones are blue adjectives. I'll reveal the answers at the end. Roz first realised she was living on a remote island when she climbed to the top of the mountain. There was nothing but sea all around her. Her remote had been lost in the waves. The button on the back of her head was the only way to restart her. Silverfish glistened beneath the surface of the cold water, and sunbeams bounced off the solid silver of our robot's body. Silently, the island's new inhabitant waited there until twilight and watched the first star appear in the sky. As a robot, she couldn't catch a cold, not even if she stayed outside all night. So she switched into her energy-saving green mode, and in her own way, she slept on the mountaintop. How did you do with picking out the nouns versus the adjectives? I'm about to show you the color-coded answers, so get ready to pause and see if you spotted them all. I had so much fun playing with these words. Now it's over to you to write your own version. I've created this template for you to fill in the blank spaces with your own word choices, if you'd like a little help. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend picking up a copy of The Wild Robot. My class and I are going on a field trip to watch the movie at the cinema when it comes out, and we can't wait. Thank you, creatives, for joining me on this wild writing adventure. See you soon for the next one.